Hi friends, it's Kathleen Happy Gal Driscoll here, and I wanted to show you something. I recently did a commission for a neighbor, and it was to do a watercolor of their house. And I got most of it right, and one part of it though, I did the stone area just a little bit too dark. So what I've done is I've taken the painting back, and now I'm going to show you how I can lift some of the color and hopefully get it right this time. But anyway, I want to show you how I'm doing this. Okay, let's go to the video. Okay, so this is the area. It's all stone, and I've just made it a little bit too dark. So what I'm going to do, this is an acrylic brush. It's not a watercolor brush, and it's a little bit stiff. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wet my brush, and then I'm going to take just a little bit of the water off, and then I'm going to go in and then carefully reapply some of the water onto the painting. And then I'm brushing it onto a dry paper towel, and see if we can just lift some of this color. Oh, you can see how bright that got right there. And we'll do another one over here, and some of the gray ones. And you can see how much, maybe you can't, but you can see how much ink, what paint I'm getting off of the painting here. Let me just do something a little bit more obvious. So made that wet. I'm reactivating the paint. Oh wow, look how bright that got. All right, so I'm reactivating the paint and then just kind of lifting off and bringing that up. Because what I did was, after I painted all of the stone, I actually went over the top with a gray wash because I felt that it was too reddish brown before. But apparently it was not quite right. Okay, let me see. Look at this one right here. Let's see if we can, oh, look at that. Look how we brought that one way up. Now I am trying to keep in with the same shape of the original stone that I drew, and just leaving a little bit of the outline. So kind of just doing the inner part, and then just scrubbing away that top layer that I had put on there. Because what I also noticed when I went back to the house, which is actually pretty close to me, was that the surrounding area, the mortar part of the stone, was actually dark. So it actually, when I lift off just that center area, it kind of leaves a background, a dark background, so it's looking more like the mortar that actually exists. And it's beginning to lighten up overall. I'm getting happier with this. I'm hoping my client is happier too. So, I mean, nobody's perfect, clearly. So you make a mistake. Sometimes you can, change this up like I am now. They still may or may not be happy. If they're not, I may have to try to redo the whole painting. They just kind of felt it really, with this color on their house, it really didn't look like their house. So I am going to do the best I can to lift a lot of this color, and then hopefully you can already see what a difference this is making. I mean, just look at this side compared to this is much more bold already. And I'm not scrubbing that hard. It doesn't take a lot to lift the color here. And look at all this. Look at all this color that I'm able to get, just by wiping that off. I'm even going back in and lifting out areas that have already lifted. So I waited till they dried and then lift a little bit more. And then sometimes it's better just to dab it like that. Another clean piece of paper. I don't want to dab it with the messy one. So let's put a new one there. And just grab this extra sheet of paper. We'll just keep working. Keep working around. This one looks like it could be a little bit lighter. And one of the reasons I had actually darkened this whole area, besides thinking that it was too bright, was I did not want to, every painting needs a focus, an area of focus. And my concern was with the way I had created the stone, or recreated or painted the stone. I was concerned that it was calling too much attention to this area. So that's why I dampened down the whole section here. Because I was afraid it was just going to be calling attention to this whole area a little too much, instead of what I thought should be the focus was the wreath and the lights and the background. So I made everything else darker so it would be of higher contrast. But then in the end, the owners of the house felt that it then did not speak to their actual dwelling. So not perfect. We all make mistakes, and we'll see if we're correcting this. The client needs to be happy, and I want the client to be happy. They are my neighbor. They're lovely people. And he's an artist, actually. One of the client that's doing this, asked for this commission, is an artist himself. He just did not have the time to do the watercolor himself this year. So he had asked me to, which I thought was very kind. I did set out expectations. I showed them some other work that I had done, some other houses that I had done in the past. So I showed them, some of my work ahead of time, which is always good to manage expectations of clients. I think with every commission that, especially if it's a, person or place or dog or cat, a pet, you've got to get certain things right. But there's always an expectation, that they have in their head of what this will be like. And sometimes their expectation is not quite met. Everything, when you create a commission, there's certain things you have to get absolutely right. Like in the pet, it would have to be the eyes. And I guess on this one, it was really more about the stone. So, and don't be disheartened by somebody that says, it's close, but it's not quite right. That's fine. We live and learn, and it gives us another chance to work on something and practice. If this does not come out to my client's expectations, I will simply, repaint. And yes, it does take time and energy to do that, but then you also want it to be right. And with every piece of work, you grow and you learn. So that's fine. And you are in a different spot. If I think about where I was a couple of years ago versus where I am now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I look at some of my old paintings, I go, I don't like that one so much. But it was great at the time. It was the best I could do at the time. And, and maybe a year or two, I'll be even better than this, which would be great. Yay. So we'll see. But don't beat yourself up about it. Don't get upset. We're all in different spots, so don't worry about it. Some people are watching this are really much better than me, and other people are not. Excuse me. But we do what we can with what we have, with where we are. All right, I think that's about as much as I'm going to do. So in the end, this is how the painting turned out. I did lighten it quite a bit. Now, it might still not be right, which is fine. Fingers crossed that they do like it, because this will be hung in their house, and it is a picture of their house, so it's got to look pretty good. But don't beat yourself up about mistakes and problems, and if you have to do it over again to make the client happy, that's just the way it's going to be, and you still need to do your best. But don't beat yourself up about mistakes. They happen. We're not perfect. It's an artist's interpretation of a person, place, or thing. So it's really not right or wrong. It's got to look, better if it's a commission, but just do your best. It's all you can ask. So that's the lesson of the day. Mistakes happen. Nobody's perfect. Sometimes the client's not happy, and you have to do what you can to make them happy. So just go with it. Be glad you're being asked for commissions. It means they do like your work. So that's the important message. So, okay, guys, to my happy gal pals, I will see you soon. Take care.